Hello everybody, it's Football here with John Montez and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are doing fine. I'm also doing fine. And today we are back with the latest transfer updates as they follows. Ollie Watkins. Manchester United are interested in Ollie Watkins. This is their target when they sell Hojlund. What is your thought into that? That is what I want to dive into this video. Ollie Watkins to Manchester United. How is this one, if it happens, or if this deal happen, how is he going to fit into Amorims system? His potential, how is he going to contribute to the squad? How much can we pay for him? And how is he going to be impactful, and how this move is going to be a benefit for both two parties? That is Aston Villa versus Manchester United. Then something also else I want to talk about that links Manchester United and Aston Villa is Marcus Rashford. Aston Villa today has announced that Marcus Rashford has returned back to Manchester United after the loan spell ends. What is your thought into that? That is massive news. We all know that Aston Villa, right now we all know that Aston Villa didn't want to trigger that 40 million pound deal for Marcus Rashford, so they have allowed him to go back at Manchester United. So as we speak, Rashford is a Manchester United player, is returned, and there was some news last week that he's preparing to go in pre-season with Manchester United. How is this one going to impact Manchester United plans for next season? Because I don't think Amorims was planning to have Marcus Rashford for the season. I don't think he was planning to have Marcus Rashford next season. So it's really important to look how this deal between Marcus Rashford story with Amorims and how it's going to work out if he stays at Manchester United, or if Manchester United will have to pay him to leave, because there were some rumors or some talks that Manchester United were willing to pay some players to go, so they end their contract and pay them some to go so they can create space and have because there's no need of keeping a player in the club that you are not going to use. So it's better to terminate his contract, let him go and find a new club. What is your thought into that? That is my topic today. So make sure smash a like on the video. By the way, if you know you are watching us for the first time, please, I just want to request you, take a second or two, click that subscription button. Don't forget to click on that notification bell, so each and every time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. To our subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support. Without you, this channel could not be able to reach where it is now. Let us just dive directly into this and look at these two incredible stories regarding Manchester United. Ollie Watkins to Manchester United. My honest opinion into this, I think it can be underlined. He can be an upgrade of Hojlund. My thoughts. He can be an upgrade of Hojlund. If you compare Hojlund and you compare with Ollie Watkins, who is more of a threat? Ollie Watkins. Because look what Ollie Watkins have done in Aston Villa, and look at what Hojlund has done in Manchester United in the last 2 years. We need a replacement of Hojlund just in case we allow Hojlund to go. I don't think, or I still don't believe, Manchester United will sign Gyökeres, in my own opinion. It doesn't make sense. Why not take a deal if the deal is there to be done? Arsenal missed out of Ollie Watkins in the January transfer window. They haven't gone back to him. I think Manchester United can take this opportunity, because I know it's a lethal striker. It's a very lethal striker. I would rather have him in the team if I don't have Hojlund. I would rather have Ollie Watkins or nothing. I would rather have Ollie Watkins than Hojlund, because we know Manchester United are looking situation of Hojlund. They have given, is a young promising talent. They have given him a huge contract. I think it's a 5-year deal at Manchester United, and they're trying to get rid of him, and they cannot get rid of him because of the length of the contract and the salary and wages. And Manchester United also doesn't want to go on a loss, so they're looking at this situation where they can sell Hojlund, or they can keep Hojlund or send him on a loan, but you need a replacement. Garnacho is leaving, you need a replacement. If Marcus Rashford leaves, you need a replacement. Anthony leaves, you need a replacement. Hojlund leaves, you need a replacement. That one is like you are almost destroying the front three. I know it hasn't worked out for us, and we know it might not work out for us. So Ollie Watkins can be a good force. It can. I promise you, it can be a good force. Imagine you have Mbeumo, you have Ollie Watkins, and you have Cunha. You have Bruno behind them. It's just a massive forward. And you have somebody like Ahmad in the team. It's just an interesting thing to see, interesting thing to watch how that one can play out. In my own opinion, I think only Watkins can fit. Literally, in my own opinion, I think he can fit more than the way Hojlund fits. Some people might be thinking about the age. Some people might be thinking about. I think some people talk about is a seasonal player. He appeared this season. It is not consistent enough. I know. It's not consistent enough. But this is my argument into this. I think if you take the main reason I'll take Ollie Watkins because I don't see any striker. The problem is we don't have options in the market and we don't have money. We don't have money to spend. We don't want to spend on big players or young talented players. Right now, if Manchester United wanted to spend money, they could have already signed Gyökeres, but they don't want to sign Gyökeres. They don't want to do it. They don't have the money. They don't have what Sporting is asking for. That is why they haven't done that deal, because it was the first target for Manchester United, in my own opinion. As I see it, it was the first target. But I would rather take Ollie Watkins. Manchester United have also been linked with Nkunku as a striker, but I don't think Nkunku is a striker, and I don't encourage Nkunku coming to Manchester United. I think he can be an option or a backup plan when things doesn't go the way we want. So Ollie Watkins as a target, in my own opinion, I think is a massive move. Is he a striker I would want to have for a long time, or is he a striker that can solve our problem? No, he cannot. It's not a person who can solve our problem, but it's a person that can contribute to the success of the club. He can be somebody who can contribute to something bigger. We should get him, but don't give him a huge contract or a 5-year deal contract. No, just give him like literally 2 years or 3 years to prove himself into the system. But I think this 3-4-3 system literally can fit him, because we need just a finisher. He's a good finisher, we know that. He's very good with the ball. Injury record is not that bad. It's not that bad with the injury record. He's very good with the ball. Pace is very good with the pace. Finishing is very good. A very good finisher. I think he had a fantastic season with Aston Villa last season, in my own opinion, the way I see it. He had a very fantastic season with Aston Villa. So he can fit into the system. He's a proven Premier League player. His injury record is good. He's not that injured player. So in my own opinion, in my own analysis, as I see it, I think I would rather take Ollie Watkins more than the way I would take on Nkunku if I let Hojlund go. Because the problem where Manchester United as a whole team stacks in is getting rid of players. Clubs doesn't want to bid for our players because they're much. Number one, their wages are huge. Number two, I think we are asking more for a poor player. I don't want to be critics of the players we have, but they have performed low. Their performance are really, really low. This, especially last season. So to get a market for them is really, really a surprise. It's really a hard task for Manchester United. So at the moment, we are gambling. I know Manchester United have been interested in so many players. We know how this one sometimes went. Nowadays, you are called interested club. We are always interested in any other player. Literally, we have been interested in so many Aston Villa players. So I think it might be a big blow for Aston Villa. By the way, this one on Aston Villa side, it can be a big blow for them, because you don't know who is going to replace Ollie Watkins, because you are letting Rashford go. But if it was a swap deal between Rashford and Ollie Watkins, 100% I would have agreed with that deal. I give you Rashford, you give me Ollie Watkins. Perfect. I will take it early in the morning. I will take that one early in the morning. I don't think it will demand so much wages, and I don't think he's a better player than Rashford in my own. He's a team player compared to Rashford, in my own thoughts. He is a team player. He's a very good player, a team player. I think Amorims system is to find players who plays as a team. That's the most important one. Players that can play as a team. So Ollie Watkins, in my own opinion, is a very good one. Aston Villa is going to be a blow because who is going to replace Ollie Watkins after I think in the January transfer window they almost lost their two best striker. That one was Ollie Watkins and Duran. But now, literally, they want to get rid of him because they need money. They didn't qualify for Champions League. Of course, that one didn't work things out for them. So most of their players would look away for somewhere to live. I think they are going to play Europa in my own opinion. But Ollie Watkins can't decide to do that. But I don't think this is the first time Manchester United are linked with Ollie Watkins. We have been linked with him before, and I think it's a player that some of the fan base want him. Some of the fan base would fancy him being the club because it's better than whatever we have at the moment. At the moment, I think Ollie Watkins is better than whatever we have. It's better than Hojlund we have right now. It's better than those Marcus Rashford. It's better than all of whatever we have. So I would take that opportunity if there is no any better deal than that. That one, if we are not getting Gyökeres, we should do that deal. But I would rather pick Ollie Watkins than I would pick Nkunku. I would not pick Nkunku. I would rather pick Ollie Watkins into this because I think Ollie Watkins is a proven Premier League player in my own opinion. Let me see down in the comment section your thought on Ollie Watkins to Manchester United. That is my thought. Probably his value in the market rised up last season after Arsenal bid for 70 million was rejected. I am wondering how much Aston Villa are willing to demand for him. Are going to demand out of him. Probably I would not want to spend more than 50 million on him. Strategically, it's not our first option. It's not our first target. Second is our second target. You don't have to spend much more money in your second target. I think the second target always should be somebody cheaper than whatever our first target is. It should not be expensive or it should not be the same amount of money as our first target. So if you are going for him as the second target, which he is because our first target was Gyökeres, then Aston Villa demand for 70 million, then walk away, just exist out of that deal. We should pay similar, something like we paid for Cunha. The performance are similar in my own opinion. If you look Cunha and Ollie Watkins, so I think 50 to 62 million will be reasonable for Ollie Watkins because of his age also and something sort like that. So that is my thought into that. Let me see down in the comment section what you guys think about that. Rashford back to Manchester United. I think this is a terrible. It's not making sense in the player, and it's also not making sense to Manchester United for this relationship to continue. We know there is no way back for Marcus Rashford in the team. Maybe there might be when he changes his mind to want to play for Amorims. But how are the players going to react to this? How are the players going to accept him? I think it's a blow for Rashford more than it's a blow to Manchester United, because it seems like Aston Villa have rejected him. Not because he's a bad player, but because he has refused to lower the salary. That one means is that Manchester United, because of the salary, because of that wage, not because he want to play football. If he wanted to play football, he could be already considering lowering his salary and going somewhere else and play football. But the main reason why Rashford is back at Manchester United and the buying option is not triggered is because he doesn't want to lower his wages. He doesn't want to lower his wages, which is terrible thought on Marcus Rashford. Where do we want to play with that huge wages on an average player? Because at the moment he's an average player. He has to build his form back again for the value to increase, or for people to be willing to pay him for that services he provides with that kind of money. But at the moment he's not providing that. The performance does not reflect his wages. There was a point that this performance was reflecting his wages, but at the moment his performance does not reflect his wages. So in my own opinion, if Manchester United could have found a way to terminate his contract, which sometimes is embarrassing to the both parties, or embarrassing to the club, or embarrassing to Rashford as well. It's embarrassing. A player from academy, you want to sell him on a free, yet you have invested a lot on him. You have invested a lot on his development since he was, 9 up to now. Then you want to terminate that contract and go for free. I don't think in business-wise that one can happen, or Manchester United can allow that one to happen. They would rather sell him even for 15 million or for less than 25 million just to get something out of him. and a player who is under contract, just terminating his contract would not make sense to Manchester United financially. Although we are going to reduce our wages, but it doesn't make sense at all, because he's on a I think he's now having 3 years at Manchester United. If you accumulate the amount of money you're going to pay him, then you accumulate the amount of money you have saved when you keep him or sell him. You better rather sell him around 11 million or 25 million, just say. It's because it will be a direct profit, of course. Of course, it will not replicate the amount of money Manchester United have invested in him, but we have to get just something out of him. That is why I don't think Rashford will go on a free. On the United States tour, I think he will be available and he will travel. Probably when Amorim says so. If Amorim doesn't, if he travels, this is my assumption. If Rashford travels with the first team, because I know Amorim is very ruthless, Amorim might decide to leave him out. But if he decided to travel with the squad, I think he will stay here. He will stay in Manchester United again, which is a bad picture. It's really, really bad for both parties. He will not be getting game time the way he wants. He will not be ready for World Cup if he wants to play for World Cup. He won't be available. Like literally, Amorim will sideline him, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that culture back again to Manchester United. The culture we are trying to get rid of it. I need a strong team, a united team, not a bunch of good players with a disorganized environment. So I would rather have Rashford go as early as possible. Let us get this situation done. Let us get something out of this done as early as possible. Let us prepare him. Let us just find a way of selling him. But terminating his contract is not the way. I discourage that. We don't have money. We are searching for money, and Rashford is a direct profit. Whatever amount of money Manchester United are going to sell him, it will be a direct profit for us. The problem is now, Rashford, does he want to play football? That is a question that this player should be looking at, because we know his potential. We know he can do wonders, but he cannot do it at Manchester United because the ego is too much. You don't have to do it at Manchester United. And him going to Aston Villa and leaving Manchester United to finish at 15th, it was a terrible mistake. It's like, literally, the relationship between Amorim and Rashford, it needs God to be blessed. It needs something special to be triggered again. But it's not there. It's like they are completely out. It's either Amorim's way or Rashford's way, which I don't want to see in Manchester United again. If Rashford goes back to that dressing room and become a Manchester United player again, next season, he will be having more power than it will be showing the club has value him more than they value the manager, because the manager have made it clearly that he doesn't want this player. But if Manchester United decide to keep him, I think it will be a disrespect to Amorim. So Manchester United have to make or Max to do everything possible to make sure they get rid of Rashford. Not unless Amorim has a second thought about him and decide to keep him. But I would rather see him go. In my own opinion, let him go. But not for free. I hope we arrive, and I don't think Manchester United should demand much on a player that they try to get rid of. No matter how is he going to perform in another club, or no matter how his performance is going to be somewhere else, we should not demand high on him. Let's demand something that the other clubs can meet. I know 40 million is something many clubs can meet, but Rashford needs to be talked to, because he needs to lower his wages. He needs to lower his salary so that clubs can be interested in him. Clubs can buy him. He can go somewhere else and enjoy football. Look at what McTominay is doing at Napoli. Look at what other players who have left Manchester United are doing in other places. Wonder thing. Look at what Elanga is doing. So I think Rashford should follow suit. Lower your salary, because now the main reason why Rashford is not out of Manchester United yet is because of his wages. Nothing else. That is the main reason why he's still at Manchester United. So, in my own opinion, we should find the situation for Rashford as early as possible. Let us just get the situation for him and let him go. That is my thought into Marcus Rashford. And something else I want to finish, just 1 minute. Is Casemiro staying? I think I will come with this video tomorrow. This one is not a good news for Manchester United fans. Casemiro staying will block some signings, because we know he still has a contract with Manchester United and is willing to get it go down until the last day. So we should be careful. I will do that video analysis tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. Make sure you smash a like on the video, by the way. Click that subscription button. Don't forget to click on that notification bell, so each and every time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify. To our subscribers, I want to say thank you so much for your continuous support. Without you, this channel could not be able to reach where it is. Until you do the next one, enjoy. Peace. Thank you.